All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me on the first stream for the new year. It is January 3rd, 2023 now. Man, I hope you guys had a good holiday and a good Christmas and good New Year's celebration. Welcome to 2023. So, started a new year for the Forex trading market now. So, just going to get a few things set up here and then we'll go through, take a look, see what's going on in the market, what's happened the last couple of days, take a look at the entry zones that I sent out, see if anything was going on, see if anything played out. So we'll go through that and see what we can either set up for the upcoming London session or the New York session tomorrow. We'll just do some market analysis here and answer some questions if you guys got any. Talk about what's happened last year and how the market's been and see what we're looking for the upcoming year here. But we'll jump into that in just a few here. Let me just get a few things finished up and set up and then we'll jump into that and see what we got going on. If you guys are new to the stream and new to the channel, definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit the notification bell. That way you guys know when I go live, when I post new content. Now, towards the end of the year, of course, there wasn't much that I was putting out because I wasn't trading very much the last week or two of 2023. Being with the holidays, I usually don't take trades at all, if any, during the Christmas holiday and New Year holiday. So I'm still setting up the entry zones for those that did place trades, that do trade during that time frame. But usually what I find is during the holidays, during the end of the year period like that, the market is usually a little bit less predictable, even if you're trading something as simple as market structure and price action. So for the most part, I typically stay out of that. Just kind of be patient, wait for the new year to come, see how the market's reacting, and kind of go from there. But like I said, if you guys are new to the stream, definitely don't forget to, the chat is available if you guys got any questions. If you want to ask about the trading strategies, ask about the SyllaFX course, inquiry about the Discord group that I have. We do have the free group as well as the paid VIP entry zones group on Discord. All the links and everything should be in the description below. But like I said, if you guys got any questions, definitely don't hesitate to ask in the chat. All right, let's see. I'm going to take a look at, pull up some of the entry zones that I set up. I think these are actually set up yesterday. Let's do that here. So we will start with the euro dollar. These are just the screenshots that I took of the entry zones that I set up for the group yesterday. Or actually, I think these are the ones that I actually sent out early this morning during the New York session for potential trade setups that I was looking for. So we'll jump into those and take a look, see what actually set up, see if anything played out, and what trades we could have taken at that time. But like I said, hope you guys had a good trading year so far. I mean, as far as last year, of course. Hope you guys were profitable. Hope you guys made a lot of money. Learned something new if you weren't profitable. Getting on the right path to being consistently profitable with your trading career. Last year was a pretty good year for me. So. Stuck to my strategy, stuck to my trading plan, and kept things simple, kept things stress-free, basically. If I wasn't available to trade at the time, I kind of stayed out of the market. If I was there and actively watching at the time, I was able to catch some of those trades. Of course, we definitely had losers, but we had winners, but still ended up being profitable overall. And that's the goal of trading, pretty much. You're not going to win them all, but you just want to make sure those that you do win outweigh the losers, and that's how you make money trading. But as far as last year, I mean, wasn't too bad. That's when I actually decided to go ahead and start putting out the course for my trading strategy, as far as trading. As far as trading, support and supply and demand, support and resistance, and trend trading, making that available, going over the basics on SyllaFX.com. I haven't actually changed the price of the course yet. I need to actually get that updated. As towards the end of the year, for the last couple of months, I had it set for just $1 for like an introductory price for people to go ahead and at least get their feet wet and get a little bit of experience in and understand the trading strategy, understand the basics, the fundamentals, the psychology, the risk management, all the basic and important things that I think people need to know when they're going into trading. But outside of that, the price is going to be going back up. I haven't decided how much exactly. With the start of the new year, kind of giving a little bit of a week's buffer time before I start putting out more content again. Kind of get back in the routine after holidays and get some more videos out, get some more entry zones out, get analysis out. So if you guys are interested in keeping up with that, like I said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like I said, visit SyllaFX.com if you want to get the trading course from there, or at least just join the free Discord group. We have members that you can discuss with, talk with. There's not too many people in there, so it kind of keeps mellowed out, calm. If you got questions, try to answer them the best as we can. Outside of that, I mean, pretty good year so far, I should say. Like I say, it's all in the fundamentals of trading. It's all in the basics and sticking to your strategy, your trading plan, not forcing things, not tricking yourself into seeing things. I mean, pretty good time so far. So we'll go through some market analysis a little bit and talk about the entry zones that I set out this morning, see if anything played out, and then we'll talk about some different trading plans. So let's see. All right. I think I got everything pretty much sent out. So just kind of to at least like recap, as far as those that are new to the stream and new to the channel, the trading strategies that I use are nothing new, nothing innovative or changed or reinvented the wheel or anything like that. Most successful traders that I actually collaborate with or work with or know of, those that are staying consistently profitable pretty much use a similar trading strategies, whether it's trading just basically support and resistance, the rejections off the levels, price action, some of which trade supply and demand. This is usually more of like a spur of the moment or kind of live trading on those, not really anticipating moves to come into support and resistance levels, but supply and demand is a little bit more like on the move or live action trading is what I refer to it as. And then of course trend trading, basically just continuation of the trend and breaking the highs, coming back to retest it, or breaking the lows, coming back to retest those to continue the trend. With any of my trades, I always recommend definitely waiting for the confirmations, waiting for the rejection wicks, waiting for price to basically tell you where it wants to actually go, show you that it's rejecting a level, and then jump in and go ahead and continue the movement in that direction. It's as basic as that. I mean, I don't use indicators, overlays, or anything complicated, or charting systems or anything like that. Basically, all I do is jump to the 4-hour chart, set up my major levels on a 4-hour time frame. Those red horizontal lines are my support and resistance levels. And then after that, move down to the 1 hour, take a look at the general trend of the price most recently. For instance, like you're seeing here, we're seeing price just basically making higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. You're looking for buy positions. It's as simple as that. So with the most recent break of the move here, we're looking at price, a lot of selling power coming down. So for the most part, we're going to be looking for sell positions. At this point, it's just sort of a matter of waiting for price to get to a certain key level, if price does get to that level, and then trade based off of that. It's as simple as that, but guys, like literally following the trend, trading with the trend, being aware of the major levels that price is going to react to, and then I take my trades off of basically either the 15 minutes. Sometime I'll jump into the 5 minute and see a little bit closer, but for the most part, it's going to be the 15-minute chart that I trade off of to actually take my positions. But yeah, I mean, like I said, nothing complicated, nothing overwhelming, nothing new, nothing different than what other profitable traders do. Basically use what works, and this is what works for me. This is what has worked for me for quite some time, and that's when I decided to go ahead and bring that up and actually produce a course for it to teach other people how to do this as well. And like I said, I'm not teaching anything new here, guys. This is very simple stuff, very easy stuff. That's why I decided for the course to be at the price that it is right now on SyllaFX.com. But outside of that, I mean, the only thing that I really offer as far as like a paid service or anything is the VIP entry zones. Basically, the entry zones that I look for, wait for price to get to, and respond to those key levels to take a trade. Outside of that, my trading strategy is very basic, very simple, easy to understand. Nothing, like I said, nothing complicated about this. You guys can learn this in like literally a day or less. So nothing super new about this or anything like that. So, but outside of that, I think we're gonna jump into some of the entry zones that I sent out this morning and see how those played out, and see what we're gonna set up for tomorrow for the London session coming up 3 a.m., 2 a.m. Eastern time, and then the New York session 8 a.m. Eastern time. So I'm on Eastern time, of course, in the United States here. As you can probably see, the broker that I trade with is IG Forex here in the United States. Kind of a low leverage trader, but due to regulations in the United States and due to the trust that I have with that broker, that's who I decide to trade with. That's who I stick with. But I think that's all as far as kind of a recap and introduction to the new year here if you're new to the channel. So we're gonna go into the entry zones and see what we had set up and what we can possibly anticipate to look for the coming session London here. Right now it's only about almost 8:30 Asian session. Typically I don't actually take a trade there unless it's something very, very good, very good setup and volume there, which is not very often, but just as kind of a heads up for awareness on that. All right. Let's see. All right, so one of the entry zones that I sent out this morning, it was for the euro-dollar pair. Just kind of a background as far as the entry zones that I do offer for the VIP students or the VIP entry zones group. Typically, I'm trading 3 main currency pairs. That's the euro-dollar, the dollar-yen, and the Aussie-dollar. If I don't see anything really being set up on those, at least for a trade that I'm looking to take, I may move on to the next 3 trading pairs that I typically look for, which are the Aussie yen, the pound dollar, the pound yen, and euro yen. So I think there's a total of 6, maybe 7 sometimes that I will look at. So pound yen, Aussie yen, euro yen, and then the pound dollar. I usually have gold listed there because I might see a setup or an entry zone that I'll go ahead and chart up and provide to the VIP entry zones group. For disclosure, I don't trade gold at all, so just for you guys to be aware of that. You might have questions about it. I might do analysis on that. I do not actually trade gold myself. I stick to the FX pairs with IG. So, but let's go into the euro-dollar entry zone that I set up here. So wanted to actually let's kind of talk about this initial entry zone. I believe this was a Sunday evening, or yeah, this would have been Sunday evening that I sent this one out. So I'm assuming, I mean, if you guys, like I said, if you guys are new to the stream, you probably don't know the method that I usually trade. When I set up these entry zones, basically I provide a zone like this rectangle here, this level that I'm anticipating price to come back down to and react to that zone. Now, typically once price gets into that zone, I don't immediately just jump into the trade or anything like that. I wait for a confirmation. I wait for a rejection of that level, price to show me that it's wanting to actually reject it and come back up and basically continue to trend and bounce off of that zone, right? Now, once I am in the trade and I see that confirmation, I see the rejection, I'm in the trade, my management of the position is going to be based on where my take profit is, with the how many pips I'm aiming for. I believe on this one, this would have been like 30 or 40 pips. So let's go back a little bit here. Yeah, so this was a 40 pip trade that I was anticipating for that one. So this is basically the position that was drawn out here on this entry zone. So like I said, now just be aware that with the entry zones that I sent out, I don't send these out for you guys to say, hey, I am taking this trade, you should take it too. That is not the purpose of the entry zones. The entry zones are basically to make you aware of the key levels that I find high probability of price reacting to, and I may take those trades myself. Now, as far as actually placing your trades, this is something that you guys need to be able to decide for yourself. This is not a signals group. I'm not here to tell you what to trade and when to trade it, but to kind of give you an idea of where the key levels should be, what I'm looking for as far as a price rejection for price to either continue or react to a zone. As far as entering the trade, that's completely up to you. It's at your discretion. Now, when I do actually enter into a trade like that, like for instance with this one, if I jumped into the trade at the level that price started rejecting, came out of that zone, if I went ahead and bought in at this level, and my take profit is set to 40 pips, right? So I am gonna, once price basically gets into profit after it's done rejecting the key level, once price meets about, what is it, about 50% into my take profit. So I'm aiming for 40 pips on that one. Once I reach about 20 of those 40, I'm about 50% there on my take profit. At that point, I'm ready to go ahead and move my stop loss to break even. On this one, I was only, I believe it was 15 pips. Yeah, it was about 15 pips stop loss that I set up on this one, right? So once price was actually in that level, rejected here, came up about 20 pips up, I would move my stop loss to break even. Basically, this is just the simplest way that I can explain as far as managing my trade. I eliminate the risk of the trade altogether at that point. If price immediately reacts to that zone and I jump into the trade and I'm already in profit, I'm already halfway to my take profit, I'm eliminating the trade, whether it comes back and taps me out or whether it goes all the way up and hits my take profit and I'll have a winner. At that point, it's risk free. I hit my 20 pips on the target, eliminate the risk. If it comes back down, like I say, it just kicks me out, whatever. So no trade at that point, I don't care. If it does hit my TP, great, that's awesome. But if I get kicked out of the trade, it doesn't matter at that point. It's as if I didn't actually place the trade at all. So I didn't lose anything, but I didn't win anything. But it eliminates the risk out of it altogether. Now that's part of something that I do explain in my course as far as managing your risk, having your own plan for risk management. Minimize your risk as much as you can. Now, even with the risk to reward ratio, if I'm allowing a 15 pip stop loss versus a 40 pip take profit, that's already over a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, right? But when I'm in the trade, I'm already in profit that much. It's even better to eliminate the risk altogether. So that's what minimizes my risk and my how much trades I actually take a loss on. It might eliminate some of the profits that I could be taking, because I see it very often. Price will come down into the zone again. It won't go all the way to my stop loss and hit me out, and it'll actually continue and go back up and hit my TP. That's all fine and great. Sometimes I miss a trade because that happens, and it come back down, bounce again, and then go up. Fine and well. I've already eliminated the risk. If I get tapped out of the trade, oh well. Typically with my trading strategy, it pretty much bounces and goes right up. So that's why I'm comfortable trading in that way, eliminating my stop loss altogether, just in case I get kicked out of trade. It's whatever. I move on to the next trade setup, right? In this particular trade, as you can see, though, it didn't actually reach the take profit. We were about halfway up there. I think it was about maybe like 30 pips or so. Yeah, we were right at like 29 pips. It didn't quite make it to 30, but I was already at 20. So I would have set my stop loss to break even at that point and left it run for the 40 pips take profit. Now, like I said, it didn't actually hit. It's fine. I mean, it came back down and tapped it out, but it's better than taking a loss on the trade. So if I would have kept that, as you guys saw initially where the trade was set up, the 15 pips would have got tapped out here or even way down here. It would have never reached that 40 pips. So either way, it becomes a null trade. It's whatever, you know. You didn't lose, you didn't win, so it's just nullified. It's just move on to the next trade, wait for the next setup. That's trading. You got to be comfortable with that. If you're not okay with that, trading may not be for you. This is the way that I manage my risk and eliminate the potential in my losing streak as far as placing those type of trades, right? But that's the entry zone that I set up for the the euro dollar before. Now, as far as yesterday though, or no, this morning, this is the setup that I had for the New York session. So we go into here. Basically, where were we at on this one here? So we had broke below the 4-hour major, so it became a resistance level. So what I was anticipating, at least what I'm wanting to see is, so I guess let me kind of explain why this entry zone is set up this way. I was looking for a buy position here, even though the selling power is in the market, right? Now, this wasn't actually news that actually caused this to happen either. So one thing that I'm anticipating is that price would basically come back up to that level and react to it. Now, the reason I wasn't comfortable looking for a sell position here, even though logically you would see price break a level like that, a 4-hour major, come back up, retest it to start moving back down, right? Now, the reason I was kind of hesitant about looking for that as a trade is because we have all of this gap here. I typically see pretty often, even with a breakup structure like that, I see market structure correct itself. So if we have price all the way up here, that's kind of consolidating a little bit in this area, and then you see a plummet like that. I mean, these are just 15-minute increments for each of these candles. So if you see price plummet like that down, typically you will have a market correction at some point or another. I don't anticipate price to just break this level, come back, retest it, and just keep moving down. It's likely, it's possible, but because of the rest of this gap from here all the way to this level, if I go to the live chart, all of this basically is left open for market correction, for market to fill back in. This is a gap that I don't feel comfortable leaving behind. Like I said, even though it did come back here, it did bounce off of it and came back down. Now, let me kind of explain why exactly I didn't set up an entry zone to actually sell here. As you can see, I have an entry set up for a buy position. I didn't want to actually sell at this level. So let me explain that. So price broke below the 4-hour major. Remember, on the 4-hour chart, these are the red horizontal lines on my 4-hour major zones, right? So on the 1 hour, came all the way down, broke below it. On the 15-minute, what I'm looking for is price to come up to that level. Now, usually, like I said, it would make sense to expect it to bounce, but let's say, okay, here I'm looking for a 60 pip move, right? If I was looking to take a sell position here, I would be aiming for roughly that 60 pip, maybe 50 pip move, right? Stop loss maybe at 20 pips, and then anticipating it come back down to these lows. So that's only about 50 pip window. Typically when I'm trading, I don't expect it to break another structure for me to take a profit. I wanted to go back to the next low or to the next high and then close out on my profit, and I'm good for the market at that point, right? So even if I was aiming for that, as you can see, price came to that level. It did reject it. At least if you look at it on the 1 hour time frame, there was some nice rejection there, right? Let me zoom into that. You got a rejection wick here, rejection wick here. Okay, on the 1 hour level, it looks okay. I don't trade on the 1 hour level, but if you look at the 15-minute, this is why I didn't set up for a sell here. Price came into it, closed above it, and then came back down, right? Still somewhat of a rejection. It's not the wicks that I'm looking for, though, to confirm a trade for me. If I was trading this live, I would not have taken a sell position here. And as you can see, even if I had done that, I would be aiming for 50 pips, right, to come all the way down to this level. Well, as you can see, price didn't come back down to that level. So either way, I would still be in profit right now, but I would not have reached my take profit yet. It's likely that price will come back to that level, either retest it, break above it, and then buy up. And that's why I wasn't comfortable taking a sell position here, because all of this gap still needs to be filled in. That's likely why price didn't plummet down and break this level again and continue moving down. The market doesn't want to actually do that. So I was anticipating rejection here, like I indicated in the entry zone that I sent out. Yes, come back up, bounce right here, right? But my position that I'm looking for, the more valid, the more the position that has more confluence to it, is a break above it, retest, and buy up. So that's what I'm still looking for at this point. It still has not happened, but this is where my next entry zone is still going to be for the next session. I want price to break above this 4-hour major, come back to retest it, and then bounce off of it. As long as I get the confirmation rejection wicks, then I would be looking for a buy position here. An easy 60 pip target. And if you notice, the 60 pip target is at these lows, right? This is the lows that were broken by this move. So I'm anticipating the high, at least my take profit, to be right before it gets to those lows. Then I'm out of the market. Then I'll look for another setup at that point. But I'm hoping that's what kind of happens out or plays out here. Like I said, the reason I didn't take a sell or didn't look for a sell position is because I wasn't anticipating it coming back down to break those levels again and continue moving down. Even though we have all the selling power here, I anticipating that the market will correct this gap and fill this in. So break above the 4-hour major, come back down, retest it, get the confirmation wick, the rejection wick that I've been looking for, tells me that price wants to bounce off of it, then jump in. At that point, stop loss at 20 pips, aiming for 60 pips on that one. So it's that simple. Like I said, I hope there wasn't too much explanation behind that, because I try to keep my trading strategies very simple. Like I said, no SMAs, no Fibonacci's, retracements, or anything like, just market structure. That's it. Market structure and price action. That's all that I trade. Support and resistance levels, supply and demand, or trend trading. That's all based off of market structure and price action. That's it. That's all it is. So keeping it very simple. I hope that makes sense to you guys. If you have more questions about that, like I said, I do have the free Discord community that you can join. The link is in the description, as well as going to SyllaFX.com. You can join it directly from there. If you do want to learn the course, of course, like until I change it right now, it's only literally $1. So until I change that, that's still available on the site for $1. So if you are interested in that, that's still available to you. It will be going up. I haven't chosen the price yet, so I'll kind of decide that at some point or another. But that's the basics of setting up a support and resistance level, or setting up an entry zone that I use, and this is what I sent out to the entry zones group for the euro-dollar pair this morning. There were 3 others that I sent out. I don't think I'm going to jump into those very much and try to keep this video kind of short. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, that's the zone that I'm looking for so far, so you guys kind of for free know my next entry zone that I'll be providing to the VIP entry zones group, and then I'll set the rest of those up and send this out to the group later. But welcome to 2023, guys. I hope you guys have a good trading start to the trading year. Anticipating making some money, see how everything kind of goes. Remember, risk management, use stop losses, and don't trick yourself into trading something that's not there. Be patient, let the market come to you. Stick to your trading strategy. If you don't see a setup, don't trade it. It's that simple. You got to be patient. You got to be disciplined in this. Don't force something that's not there. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, guys, there's not much else that I really feel like I need to explain here. I can go into a couple more of the other currency pairs and see if anything is really setting up. See if we got anything going on. So let's actually talk about this entry zone here. So on the dollar yen, this is one that I sent out this morning. Yeah. So we were at the 4-hour major here. So let's see where that is exactly. So this would have been right in this area here when I set up the zone, right? So what I was looking for is, I have a entry zone set up here. What I was wanting it to actually do, instead of bouncing up like it did and move back up on that, and this is because we are at a 4-hour major. I don't take, so like if you're below the zone here and you see it's going to bounce off of this level, I'm not going to take a buy position here to go into that level, into the 4-hour major, because there's a lot of resistance there. Even though it did break above it, okay, fine and well, but I was wanting it to go below it, come back up, reject it, and actually bounce off of it to continue selling down. That didn't happen, so we don't take a trade. At this point, let's see. If we go up to the 4 hours, let me get rid of some of this clutter here. So if we look at the 4-hour, we got major resistance and support level here, got another level here that was slightly broken, came back up and closed out above it. So the ideal setup here would actually be something like this. This is a major level, and this is basically a fake out. You could potentially see it as a reverse head and shoulder pattern, where price bounced off of this level, broke above below it, came back up above it, and came back to retest it. Right now we are well above the major level, so what we could be anticipating is price to come back down here, bounce off of it for a buy position. So it's that simple, guys. I mean I don't make these things very, very complicated at all, so I hope this is pretty clear to you guys. And then take profit will be basically at the next highs that were already set up, right? So about 70 pips of that is what I would be aiming for, maybe 60 pips of it. I mean, you only have a stop loss of 20 pips on that. So if price comes all the way down to this level and we get a nice rejection here and then take a buy position, this is a pretty basic, simple trade that you can take. So above a major 4-hour, looks like just a break below, came back up above it, and now we're trading well above it. So come back to retest it, take a buy position, boom, and you're good to go on that one. So that's what I would be anticipating for the next level here to place a trade on. But of course, I mean, it doesn't seem like we're going to get anything during the Asian session. There's not a lot of volume right now, so it is what it is. Just be patient, wait out until the London session to see if you can get a setup to come through. But yeah, outside of that, I think that's all we're going to cover on this video here. Like I said, if you guys are new to the stream, definitely don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell, that way you know when I put up new content. Typically what I'm going to try to do is when I send out the videos, it's probably going to be in a short format, so less than 60 seconds, to explain a position or do market analysis on that. As easy as the trading strategy is, it shouldn't take much longer than that. Of course, I'll usually have the longer format videos, like 5 or 6 minutes, do some market analysis on specific currency pairs. But as far as if I do send out an entry zones, if I do place a trade, I kind of want to share those will probably be in a short format, so just be on the lookout for that. But outside of that, I think that'll be it for this evening, guys. Like I said, welcome to the new year 2023. I wish everybody luck trading. I hope you guys make some money. If you guys want to make some money with me, definitely join in the Discord group. Go to SyllaFX.com. The course is available there. The free group is available there, as well as the paid VIP entry zones group is available there. SyllaFX.com. Outside of that, appreciate you guys joining me on this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Want to become a full-time trader? Start making money trading from home today with the SyllaFX VIP entry zones. Receive multiple trade entry zones every weekday for different currency pairs. You also get access to the full SyllaFX trading course, as well as live trading sessions. Go to SyllaFX.com now and join the VIP entry zones.